Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into the power of understanding and healing the hidden wounds that shape our lives and relationships. We'll explore the crucial steps towards self-discovery and personal transformation, leading to stronger bonds and increased empathy. Are you ready to uncover the path to a more fulfilling and connected life? Let's begin. Now here's where it gets interesting. The first key is understanding triggers vulnerabilities. We all have them, those sensitive spots that set us off, often stemming from past hurts. Think of it like this: a childhood experience where you weren't heard might make you ultra-sensitive to being ignored as an adult. A past betrayal could lead to trust issues, making you guarded in new relationships. Imagine a time you felt dismissed, maybe at a work meeting or even in your family. How did you react? Chances are, it was a reaction fueled by an old wound. Let's say you were consistently criticized as a child, and now you find yourself overly sensitive to any feedback, even constructive. This can easily turn into defensive behavior. Or, consider a scenario where you experience the loss of a loved one, and now, any talk of sickness or loss immediately causes you significant anxiety. These triggers are like landmines. Knowing where they are is half the battle. Next, let's tackle misunderstandings. They are the silent killers of connection. They arise when our interpretations of others' actions or words are colored by our own experiences, our own hidden wounds. For example, your partner forgets to call, and you immediately assume they don't care, when in reality, they were simply overwhelmed with work. This can lead to frustration and further disconnect, and you may be surprised when they say they had a rough day and completely forgot. Imagine you're in a conflict with a friend. You might see their actions as a personal attack, based on your own past experiences with confrontation. The truth is, sometimes we misunderstand, and sometimes we don't realize how we affect others. Have you ever been misunderstood in a disagreement? What did it feel like? It's a painful place to be. Hidden wounds are, of course, the core of it all. They're the unresolved pain, the unhealed hurts that shape our responses. Think of them as old scars. You might have a scar from a childhood injury. While it might not hurt anymore, it is there, a reminder of the past. These hidden wounds can affect our present behavior, choices, and relationships. A common example might involve someone constantly seeking validation because of a lack of parental affection. Or, what if a past friendship ended badly? Those hurts can cause you to become extremely wary of new friendships, even when those friendships are healthy. These wounds, if left unattended, can fester, poisoning our present and future. Do you know your own hidden wounds? The key to healing lies in awareness. You can't fix something if you're not aware it is broken. This is the first step: recognizing your triggers, understanding your patterns, and acknowledging your wounds. It's like the first step in learning to drive, realizing you need to take a driving lesson, even if it seems difficult. This is a major step towards a better understanding of yourself. For instance, if you repeatedly find yourself in conflict with a certain type of person, stop and take a look at your past and how it relates to the conflict. Or, if you find yourself consistently anxious in social situations, trace back to the roots of those anxieties. Where did the fear of judgment come from? Empathy is next. Once you start recognizing your own triggers and hidden wounds, you can see them in others. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's walking in their shoes. Think about it. When you understand that someone else is acting in a certain way because of their past experiences, it becomes much easier to offer compassion and understanding. Imagine a colleague struggling to meet a deadline. Instead of being angry, you might remember a time when you struggled and provide a little support. Or, someone being very critical, and you start realizing that they are struggling with their own inner demons. How can empathy shift your perspective? Communication is an integral part of healing. It is the pathway to connection and understanding. This involves speaking openly and honestly about your feelings and needs, and also actively listening to others. It's not just about talking, it's about truly hearing the other person. Think about the last time you had a truly open and honest conversation. How did it strengthen your bond? You could say, "I feel hurt when you do this," instead of yelling, "You always do this." Being vulnerable and opening up can lead to a more successful result. Patience is critical in this process. Healing takes time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Don't expect instant results. It takes time to unpack your past and heal your wounds. Imagine that you are planting a seed and expecting it to grow overnight. That's not realistic. This means being patient with yourself and others. What area of your life requires more patience, and how can you improve? Self-reflection is about taking time to consider your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It is like looking at your reflection in the mirror. It's a process of asking yourself tough questions and being honest with your answers. Think about journaling, meditating, or just taking some time for yourself. What are your patterns? Why do you react the way you do? This helps you understand your triggers and hidden wounds more clearly. Have you reflected on yourself recently? Support is the essential element in your transformation. You don't have to do this alone. This means reaching out to friends, family, or a therapist, when necessary. Surround yourself with people who support your journey and understand the value of what you are doing. Imagine a team of people that encourage you and share your wins. This can come from friends, family, or even professional support. Support can come in many different forms. Do you have a support system in place? Self-discovery is the gift at the end of the rainbow. This is the journey of uncovering your true self, understanding your values, and living authentically. Imagine it like peeling back the layers of an onion. What did you find in the center? It is about gaining a deeper understanding of who you are and who you want to be. Once you do, you unlock the potential for a life filled with joy and fulfillment. Are you ready to start on your own journey? We will now be moving into how these will affect your relationships. This is where increased empathy takes hold. Understanding your own vulnerabilities will inevitably increase your ability to empathize with others. You'll be less likely to judge and more likely to understand. You'll have more patience for their struggles. You'll be able to be a better listener, and a better friend, partner, and family member. For example, maybe you realize that your boss is yelling because he is overwhelmed with his own pressures. Increased empathy will affect your interactions with your partner, family, friends, and coworkers. How will this apply to your life? Next is having a stronger bond with those around you. As you heal, and as your empathy grows, the bonds with the people you love will naturally strengthen. Think of it like a tree taking deep root and being less likely to be swayed by the wind. You'll build deeper connections because you'll be more understanding, more supportive, and more loving. Stronger bonds with others can only happen with openness. How does strong family and friend bonds sound to you? This leads to personal transformation. This is the ultimate goal, a life lived with greater self-awareness, emotional resilience, and joy. What will you do with that life? Imagine living without the weight of your past holding you down. Imagine freedom from your fears and your anxieties. This is the freedom that comes from healing. What if all those years, the bad things you were holding on to, were just gone? Now, that would be a good life. And that is what you can have. But wait, there's a catch. This process won't always be easy. You might have setbacks. You might face difficult emotions. The good news is, you are not alone. You can do this. Let's take a minute to address some comments. This all sounds so hard, says one viewer. Well, it may be, but it's definitely worth it. I feel like this is just for people with major trauma, says another viewer. No, it's for everyone. We all have hidden wounds. Now, I have a question for you. What is one thing you can do today to start your journey towards self-discovery? Another question. can you think of a time where you could have applied the principles we've discussed today, but didn't? Finally, one last question. What is one thing you will focus on this week to bring you closer to healing your hidden wounds? Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about subscribing. I know you get this from every other YouTuber, but really, subscribe to this channel. We're going to unpack a lot more valuable content about mental wellness. And here, on this channel, we are going to dive into the very steps that lead to self-discovery and positive change. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date and get on the inside track for personal transformation. Don't miss out on the next video. Thank you for joining me.